Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SVD sniper rifle for the Recon class. Now this sniper rifle is available right from the start when you start playing the game from level 1 for the Russian side, and eventually if you play enough then you can unlock it for the US side as well, along with the Mark 11 sniper rifle, which is the US side's equivalent. Now, I've held off in reviewing this gun for such a long time, or even playing with this gun for such a long time, because I've been kind of disappointed by some of the stats on it, in that it's pretty much, well, it is exactly identical to the Mark 11 sniper rifle, except that it takes a quarter of a second longer to reload. So in my mind, there was really no point in using this weapon. But you know what, I finally got bored. I got killed by it a few times, and I was like, alright, people are still using the SVD out there. Why don't I give it a try, see how it performs, since I really haven't tested out many of these semi-automatic sniper rifles after many of the recent patches. Now, after you get a mere 10 kills with this gun, you unlock the PSO-1 scope, which is what I'm using right now. This is a 4x scope, and this scope was actually specifically designed for this sniper rifle. Definitely looks like it fits on this sniper rifle, and I decided to, you know what, why not just use it throughout the review, because I'm really enjoying the 4x zoom aspect with this gun. The ACOG scope is also 4x zoom, and I kind of prefer that scope in general over the PSO-1, but I thought, you know what, this gun just looks like it works with this scope so well that why not use it for the duration of the review. Now, when it comes to semi-automatic sniper rifles, there's actually 5 of them that fall into the exact same damage category, and as a result end up performing very similarly to one another with minute differences. These 5 sniper rifles are the M39 EBR, the M417, the Mark 11, the QBU-88, and of course the SVD. The guns have a maximum damage of 50, meaning you can two-shot a guy in close quarters, and that damage drop-off starts at 15 meters. So anything beyond 15 meters is going to be a 3-shot kill on your opponent unless you nab a headshot for that 2x damage multiplier, making it a 2-shot kill again at longer ranges. So the damage drops off all the way down to 37.5 damage out at 75 meters. So you can still 3-shot a guy at any distance with this gun, so that's nice. No matter how far away your opponent is, you can still 3-shot him, or if you grab a headshot in there, it can still be a 2-shot kill. The only way you can one-shot somebody with this weapon is if you grab a headshot in 15 meters or closer. So obviously that's not the ideal situation to be using this gun. If you're that close, you're going to be at a disadvantage with pretty much any other weapon on the battlefield. It's a sniper rifle, you want to use it at longer ranges. Now the 5 semi-automatic sniper rifles that I previously mentioned are all very similar to each other, but how does the SVD differentiate itself from those 5? Well, the SVD actually has really good aiming down sight accuracy. It's the same aiming down sight accuracy as the Mark 11 or the M39, but it's still very good aiming down sight accuracy. So it's much better at range than, say, the QBU-88 or the M417. Now, sadly, and this is one of my gripes with basically all of the semi-automatic sniper rifles, the 5 semi-automatic sniper rifles that I mentioned previously, there really isn't a huge difference other than that with some of the other weapons out there. In fact, the SVD doesn't offer anything particularly special. So, in fact, when you compare it to something like the M39 bests the SVD in almost every way because it has a faster bullet velocity, faster rate of fire, the exact same reload, its recoil is basically lower, so there just aren't a lot of different ways that DICE has made these guns unique from each other, and in some cases, especially with the Mark 11 or the M39, those guns just perform better than this weapon on paper. Now, in the actual grand scheme of things, these guns are so similar that if you're good with one, you can probably switch to the other and get pretty much the same kind of performances. The thing that I like about the SVD is that even though its rate of fire clocks in at around 260 RPM, which is slower than the M39, this rate of fire seems to be perfect for long distance shooting. Like, I wouldn't want to shoot any faster because it takes a little while for your recoil to settle down. So the only reason why you would want to shoot faster than this gun allows is if you're in extreme close quarters and you just need to spam fire. Now, a nice thing about these weapons is that you can basically use them in their ideal state just after getting 10 kills. I mean, the SVD with this 4x scope here, sure, maybe you could upgrade it with an ACOG if you prefer that scope, and give yourself a little bit better screen visibility, since this sort of rubber eyepiece here takes up a huge part of your screen when you actually zoom down sights, and you could potentially miss an infantry if they're hiding behind that area of the scope. It just basically obstructs your vision, but you can still perform extremely well with it. As you can see, I am here just after 10 kills. There's nothing that I really want to add to this gun other than a 4x scope. Sure, I suppose you could put a bipod on here if you want extreme accuracy and easier to manage recoil at ranges, but you know what, I like to stay mobile. You guys know my gameplay, and I don't really find it's necessary to be good with this gun. The accuracy on this weapon is still definitely on par or adequate for dropping targets at pretty long ranges. Now, a laser sight attachment on here is definitely something to consider. I don't like using them at longer ranges because you just give away your position. It's like, hey guys, if you're getting lased, definitely hit the decks or try and find some cover, which is not what you want to do if you're a sniper. You want your target to not know where you are, or not know that they're being targeted, for that matter. If you turn it off, though, for longer ranges and then turn it back on for close quarter engagements, you can actually get a nice little hipfire bonus, and this gun can become quite useful in close quarter combat, especially since it's doing 50 damage. If you just two-shot a guy with hipfire, you can drop them very fast. So that's an interesting thing to do. I know it's something that a lot of people do with the M417, which is a slightly faster firing rifle of the same sort of damage model, and they can actually be very effective in close quarters. Now, when looking at the reload time of this gun, it actually isn't so bad at all. Its short reload time is 2.15 seconds, so if you reload before you've spent your entire magazine, you're going to get a very fast reload. The Mark 11's reload, short reload, is 1.85 seconds. Like I said, it's a quarter of a second faster than the SVD. But here's what to watch out with the SVD. If you spend all of your magazine, your entire magazine there, then the long reload is 3.3 seconds, where comparatively to the Mark 11, it only has a 2.4 second long reload. So just try and reload this weapon before you've spent the entire magazine, unless you want that 3.3 second reload, which is pretty long. The gun comes stock with a 7x scope when you first start using it. Personally, I think this kind of scope is maybe a little bit too long range for this rifle. It's not that the accuracy can't handle it, it's just that the appropriate engagement distances, I think, for this gun are sort of medium to longer range, as opposed to the bolt-action sniper rifles, which are long range. So if you really want to engage somebody at extreme long ranges, then go for the bolt-actions. They're going to be much more accurate, and you can still one-shot guys if you headshot them at longer ranges with the bolt-action weapons, whereas this one is still going to be a two-shot at longer ranges. So try and use it at medium ranges. It's even usable at closer ranges if you definitely have the drop on your opponent. Now, if your playstyle involves a bit more running and gunning, getting up in areas that have tactical advantages and dropping down on your opponents, or flanking them, as opposed to just finding a sniper perch somewhere and trying to pick off targets from long range, then these semi-automatic sniper rifles are probably for you. They're going to complement your playstyle. They have a nice large magazine of 11 shots, so you can basically really put a lot of rounds into your opponents before having to reload and drop multiple targets. So you can take on squads of 4 with this gun before having to reload, assuming you don't miss any of your shots. The recoil of this gun is extremely easy to manage, so it's very easy to continuously fire at a target, even moving targets. So it's a very easy to use weapon, very easy to get into, definitely a good gun for starting out with the Recon class. That's pretty much it for the review of the SVD sniper rifle. I like the gun a lot, though. If you're looking for absolute maximum performance, there's some better options out there, like the Mark 11 or the M39 EBR. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.